I do think there is like a little dog that just fucking like we need to be doing something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like I don't know. If I didn't have running, I feel like I would be completely cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you reckon you would do anything like that post
Well,
footy?
I kind of had it like in the break in the off season when I didn't have my deal, and it was like the boys were all back starting pre-season. But I've always been sort of one when people whinge about pre-season.
Yeah.
I always find it so funny, bro, because I'm like, I actually love that time
Yeah.
of year. That's the kind of player I am too, though. Like I'm
Sure.
not like the flashiest player getting around, so it's like that's sort of what you're like. You need to love it to be able to play like that, or play the position that we played as well. Playing in the forwards, you're like,
Especially for like how long you've played it as well.
Yeah.
I feel like if you didn't love it, you probably wouldn't have the longevity in the career, right? You wouldn't be able to.
So yeah, in the break, it was like the boys they were back starting pre-season. I knew I should be back.
Wow.
And I was like, but I was putting in massive days on my own.
Yeah.
And Mill, like, she'd give me so much validation. Like, I'd come home and she'd be like, oh, I'm so proud of you. I can't believe you've just gone and done that today.
It's really nice.
And you'll go do it again tomorrow and the next day. And like, honestly, through that period, like didn't have a drop of alcohol, wasn't drinking. It was like off season and that sort of stuff.
Man.
And like I was putting in massive days. And like maybe we had like a wedding or something on where like I had to shuffle a session around, but one of the biggest things was like, I'm going to make sure I don't miss a session. If I do, I'll make up for it.
Wow.
And it was like, it come back to pay me back. Because when I first signed with South and got in there and got through the door, it sounds like a bit of a wank, but my first week there, they do like trainer of the week.
Yeah.
And I got in, bang, trainer of the week straight away.
Very
and
nice.
you know, you're not there to impress people. It's all about yourself. Like you always, you want to be looking at yourself in the mirror, but for Wayne to be like, geez, man, you've looked after yourself, you've come in fit.
Yeah.
He's like,
But
obviously.
Wayne would appreciate that.
Yeah.
Dude, those are the little things that Wayne froze. I had Wayne at Bronx when I was like 18 years old, first came into grade or like a pre-season, and he was there, and he loves those little things, hey?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the discipline of it more so than like the scores or whatever you get. Like,
Sure.
yeah. So that was something that like I realized at that point too. I'm like, yeah, when I'm finished, this is like you just said, the longevity of it, and how long we've been doing it. This is now not just something I have to do. Or not something that I do because it means I can play footy. It's like something I actually have to do. It's part of my life now.
I would love to see what it looks like for you, like post-footy.
Well,
if you got in like to adventure racing. Or,
Well, I've kind of been thinking a bit about it. Like we've been talking a bit about it. I'm always thinking about like what's coming next.
Yeah.
To the point sometimes where I'm like, come on, Ads, you got to keep your eye on the ball now. Don't be thinking too far into the future. But like, you know, always like ADHD. I'm high energy. I'm like always trying to double down on what I.
Do you actually have
what
ADHD?
I can do. Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting,
So
yeah.
what more can I be doing right now?
Yeah.
It's probably the biggest detriment. Like sometimes Mills, like, and even physios and things I've had in the past when I've been injured, they're like, mate, you're probably re-injured because like you just need to chill.
Yeah.
You just need to rest. Like stop going over the top.
Yeah.
But I've been thinking about it a lot more now, and I think like getting into the gym space, that whole wellness space.
Yeah.
Like I kind of use the example with Mill when I talk to her about it. I'm like, a doctor studies for 10 years to become a surgeon.
Yeah.
And so I'm coming up to hopefully by the time I retire, it's like a 15-year
Wow.
professional athlete career where like maybe the first 5 or 6 years I was taking it for granted a little bit, but the last sort of bit now I've been like super focused on being professional, what I'm eating, you know, limiting alcohol, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, I'd like to look at us as the surgeons of, you know, healthy living and sport and being athletes.
Well, you've had so much time in the space,
Exactly.
and it's all the little things.
It's lived experience.
I think the lived experience is one of the biggest parts of any occupation or any career you go down, and especially you having so much time in the space. It's like you would be very easily to be able to fit into that scene or that type of occupation.
It's just a comfortable transition.
100%.
Yeah, and I think the thing I get caught up with, and it's probably a little bit ADHD as well, that imposter syndrome of like, okay, well, what do I need? What do I need to get? Like, I'm currently at uni studying project management, which is like a bit of I like it because it's broad. Like, it's got more of probably a construction side of it, the specialties that I've chosen to study, but project management can sort of be everything. And it's like, I don't need to go and get a Cert 3 or Cert 4 or exercise sports science to run a gym. It's like, I've lived it. I know what I can do. I can get people in to maybe do that sort of stuff. But it's like actually sitting there and being comfortable with knowing that we've done the work already.
100%.
And it's actually just about acting it.
100%.
And then on the other hand, though, I'm also like, we sort of just briefly spoke about it off air, but I didn't have a contract there for a bit. So now that I do, I'm like very present and grateful and happy to like sit here and just give 100% to footy at the moment. And I'm kind of the type of person as well that I probably won't know what I'll do next until next comes.
Yeah.
You've probably found that out with yourself.
100%. Well, dude, to be honest, like, I would really love to zoom in like the last 12 months, especially like the last 6 months, because I obviously saw you sign with South. I didn't know the intricacies of it until I did a little bit of a deeper dive into it. So at the end of last year, you were coming off contract, ruptured bicep.
Yeah.
What did that whole scenario look like? Because I imagine the stress and the pressure, like I'm sure we're going to talk about being a new dad as well.
Yep.
Family, new parent, like what did that look like for you throughout that time? Because I imagine it probably would be pretty tough, yeah?
It was a crazy period. It was really tough. Like I probably haven't sat in it enough to, you know, I don't want to sit there and be a sad sack, but like I haven't really sat in the last 12 months and thought about like how heavy of a time it was at periods.
Yeah.
So Mill fell pregnant. What we found out on New Year's Day of 2025.
Wow.
We knew that she was like we wanted to fall pregnant, and it all happened luckily very quickly for us. Very blessed in that space, but you know we had a bit of a plan. She went and played for Australia in that. They won the comp, played for Australia in that off season. The plan was to fall pregnant sort of around that Christmas period. Yeah. Knowing that she would miss 2025, come back and play 2026. So. With that, which is just funny for us because nothing we do really is a plan. Like we're like two
I love the way you guys
man.
operate as well.
Yeah, we just say yes to everything, bite off more than you can chew, and chew like fuck. That's the saying. Like, so we you know that's how we are. But this was the one time, and it's probably the biggest thing in your life. And we actually made a plan, and it kind of worked out. And we're like, oh, maybe we should do this a bit more often.
Yeah, what planning our lives? That's
planning.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, I knew, and like my agent knew. That we were going to look to move back to Sydney. It was so funny. Like, I suppose I kind of follow her around, but like, she's given me a baby. Like, I'm not, you know, she's been traveling up and down the M1 for so long. We've lived in Newcastle for the last 3 years. Yeah. She was playing for the Roosters, traveling down, working for Channel 9, working for Triple M.
So she was living in Newcastle.
There was periods there where, obviously, when she wasn't pregnant and she moved down for the season, she did the relocation.
She was living with Liv.
She was living with Koenig and Keeley.
Fuck, what a household.
And they're so tight, bro.
What a household that would be.
It's so good, man. It's crazy. And they're just like, they just bounce off each other.
Cool.
They have so much fun. But she would still, like, days off, she's coming back, you know. Sure. And I hated it because she'd finish training at 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night. She's not on the road till 9. Yeah. I'm going to sleep because I've got training the next day, and she's driving back at 11. And, like, you know, in the back of your mind, it's still a 2.5 hour drive. You just hope that she gets home safe a lot of the time. So, like, it was stressful for me. Knowing that she was doing that all the time. So we made a decision. I was like, look, there's, I don't know how many, eight clubs of the NRL are based in Sydney. I'm like, I've been around long enough. I'm a good player. Like, sure. I'll just get a contract at one of those clubs. We'll be right. Yeah. And then come round 12 last year, so it's 12 months right now, that I ruptured my bicep, and I didn't really have anything set in stone. Obviously, like I'm 30. It's like, oh geez, this is looking a bit grim. And then I suppose you're not putting yourself in the shop window every week, so you're out for the season. But I still had a lot of hope that would sort of eventuate. Yeah. Anyway, got to the end of the season and didn't have a contract still, and it went on. But I sort of skimmed over a little bit there. Like my dad was diagnosed with cancer in 2023, and come up and lived with Mill and I while he had his chemo in Newcastle because he couldn't get treatment back home. So
he was living in Newcastle.
So he was living in Newey while he had his treatment, and then he would move back home with mum down in Tathra, where we're from. My brother's down there as well. Yeah. So he would get his chemo, go home, come back, get his chemo. He did 2 years of that. Beat it once, then it come back. It was esophageal cancer. So they say it's like quite likely that it just moved further up or down the pipeline, and he ended up getting it a second time. And then so we lost him in April last year. And then that was, around the time where Mill was pregnant. We knew we were going to be welcoming, baby into the world, and I really wanted him there for that. He was also like my dad and me. I got an older brother, James, that's got autism, and I absolutely love him to death, and he's a huge part of my life. But I never had a brother that my mates had growing up. Like I didn't have a brother that I was playing backyard footy with. I didn't have a brother that I could talk to about girls or clothes or what to wear to a party and all that sort of stuff. So like, as much as he was a dag, that my dad was that for me. So like, we were so close.
It looked like you guys were really close.
We were, man. Yeah, and it was such a tough period. And then the contract stuff come up, and it was just like, you know, you don't really give yourself time to think about it because it's just like in the world of professional sport, like it's just all go, go, go.
Where does your head go in that time when baby coming up, torn bicep, you're going through this stuff with your dad? How do you navigate those thoughts? Like what's coming in and how do you process, or what do you do?
Yeah, it was so tough. Like, I'm very lucky I've got such good friends that were checking in on me. Like, my wife is obviously a huge part of my life, but she's just amazing. Like, the support that she gave me through that period, like, I wouldn't have been able to do it without her. I had an assistant coach at Newcastle who's now at the Titans, Brian McDermott. He come over from England. He's a good mate with Mill's dad. They played together in England. So me and him hit it off pretty much straight away. And like through that period there, he lost his dad when he was 27. He was actually about to make his Great Britain debut that weekend, and his dad went into hospital, went in for a surgery for cancer as well, and died on the operating table. So like, I was 30, he was 27. There was a lot of similarities there, and you know, he's a tough bloke. I you know, like to consider myself, I'm not a sad sack, but it's like you love your dad. You only get one. Like, they're your hero, man. And like they have their, everyone's got their blemishes, but like, you know, even though you become a man, I feel like you're still always that boy looking at your dad.
Sure.
So he helped me immensely, like, navigate that period. But I also always had my dad's voice in the back of my head going like, come on, go get that contract. You know, you love what you do. You worked your whole life to do what you do. You work too hard. You got a baby coming, you know, make Lenny proud. He's my boy as well. So I always had that in the background. And, you know, Dad, when he passed away, we sort of knew he was about to pass away, went into palliative care. And he said, you make sure if I pass before they play on the weekend, you go back and watch them. So he passed away on the Thursday. I flew back to Newcastle on the Friday, and the boys played on Saturday. Wow. So, like, you know, it's probably not the healthiest thing looking back. But for me, it was that's just the household and the attitude and the environment that I grew up in. It's like, you just get on with it. You turn up for your people. They needed me, and I was there. And so.
Well, I'm sorry. I am sorry to hear. Like, I saw it was a year.
Yeah, it was a year. Yeah, 12th of April. Yeah.
Man, what I really respect, and probably why I'm like super keen to have the conversation, is like, you were in this like really gnarly spot, like it's a really tough time, but I really love and I really appreciate and respect the way you like kind of went about it. Like, you had your old boy in the back of your head, and from what you've said just briefly is around, no, I wanted to go after it. Like, you were training the whole time. Like, you didn't stop. It's almost like you didn't take no for an answer. Was that the case, or was
big time? Like, without like pumping my tires, like, I've played nearly 200 NRL games. I've never gone, like, I signed with the Bulldogs when I was 14 years old. Never gone a year without having a contract a year in advance. So like, I felt like, you know, I could have spat the dummy or whatever, but like, this is the first time I'd really faced it, or not I've been sacked before. So like, I can't say it's the first time I'd faced adversity, but it was the first time I'd probably been, even when I was sacked from the Bulldogs, I had a contract a week later with the Raiders. Like, it was like, I never struggled to get the deal. Whereas this was like the first time people were doubting my ability to play as an NRL player, I suppose. And I haven't spoken about that, but me and Mill would speak about it a lot. I'd speak about it with Brian McDermott, the fella I was talking about. Like, this is the first time people have actually doubted my ability to do what I believe, like, you know, I've done my whole life and I was like born to do. And so it's really the only time that it counts to actually stand up.
And there was no like unwavering of confidence. It's
not
like,
once.
Dude,
if anything,
so
it
awesome.
like, I lent into it more.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I feel like some people get motivation from different things, but like, you know, I've had a bit of a bit of a few hardships in my upbringing, and I feel like the biggest motivator for me is proving people wrong. It's like, there's probably a lot of people from Tarthurst, where I'm from, like, they're so supportive. They absolutely love me, and I'm so grateful for them. But people along the way, like people from where we're from, we don't really make it, you know. So it's like, I'll prove that wrong.
Man, I love that, because I think like a big part of these conversations that we're having is because I imagine there's going to be so many people, young guys and girls, who are in a very similar position where they are feeling the weight. Like, they've got the financial stress, maybe relationship stress, maybe like trying to find a job or career or a contract, plus bub on the way. Like, the amount of stress that I think particularly men hold, but females as well. And they're probably looking for an answer, probably looking for some sort of type of motivation or someone who has done it before. And that like one little thing of like having that confidence to be able to like, no, I'm going to prove these people wrong and I am going to go for it. Dude, I think that's fucking like really inspiring, bro.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking cool, man.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
It's, I suppose it also like puts things into, you know, although it was such a tough time, I couldn't get a contract. The fact that Dad passed away, like he was sick for a long time. I knew he was going to pass away, you know, quite soon. He'd lost so much weight. He was very, very sick for a long time. He'd been through sepsis. So when Dad passed away, it wasn't a shock. So it's counterintuitive, but it was almost like a blessing at the time that happened. Yeah. I didn't have a contract and Bub was on the way and there's a bit going on. It was also like it helped me put things into perspective of being like, well, I'm still here, man. You know, really like, important. Which is important as well. It's so easy for people to say, but like, and I did say that to myself as well. Like, it's easy to say this when you're not in that position. It's easy to say, just worry about yourself. Yeah. You know, just keep focusing on you. It's you versus you. All those things, they're easy to say when you got a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And I'm like, well, do you know what, Adam? This is the only time that you haven't. Yeah. And this is when, if you're actually a man, like, it's a bit fake if you haven't actually lived it. Yeah. And I'm like, well, this is the first time I really get to live it. Wow. So like lean into it a bit here.
Are these the type of conversations that you're having?
Because
the way you're talking,
I'm a big journaler. Yeah, like I love writing. I always have, even when I was at school. Obviously, I've probably had the reputation of being a bit of a rat bag in the past. But
what,
like,
really?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Wouldn't expect that, dude.
Yeah. But like through school, I was, you know, I loved school, and I was like, I went to St. Greg's for my last few years of schooling, and was a boarder there, and it really helped me with like my academic side of things. Yeah. But it also like helped me moving away from home and like leaning into the books. Like I always found it such a good way for me to express myself. Yeah. You know, writing things down. So, not so much like, I don't really write goals down as such, because I feel like sometimes for me personally, if I write it down, it's almost like I've already achieved it. Yeah. Like I like kind of internalizing those sorts of things, but just more like my thoughts of throwing things out there and like those little sayings that I might have in my head. And that's been something like so powerful for me over this period where it actually gets tough.
I reckon there's something in that, like when you actually put it down, like pen to paper, and you read it back, it's kind of like a higher you, or like someone's reading it back to you almost. Yeah, it is. It's something like,
it's like a conversation almost. It's almost like sometimes I write, and I'm probably sounding a bit woo-woo now, but sometimes I write to my dad, man, and it's like we're having the conversation. Like I knew him so well, I knew what he would say. Yeah. And it's funny, I find myself catching myself out sometimes where I'll say something, looking for an answer, and then I answer it. Like I already know the answer. 100%. I answer it from him.
Yeah. Do you read them? Do you read them back?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
So it's been a big thing, you know, and like I said, like that last 6 months, especially where I was getting tested, that's been a big tool for me.
I think that's really cool. Similar, no, actually not similar at all, but the start of the year, we found out that my partner was pregnant as well. Yeah. So again, which is why I'm keen to have this conversation. But there was a time where it's like, it was a little bit tricky. We weren't sure what we were going to do. The financial stress, we just brought on like some new people into the podcast. And so under like a bit of stress, and same thing, I love journaling, big journaler, and I would write down like these things aren't going to break you, like be resilient, like get through it. And almost like, you know, when you're in preseason and you're in like a really hard session, it's like, don't be a weak.
Exactly.
And I don't know what it is, but it was almost like that little dog came back in.
Well, have those things taught us like it's so important, like as a young man coming through and training, like those things you don't figure out until you're in the deep dark trenches of a hard preseason or a game where you just don't have those conversations, and then you finally do. Man. And it helps you in like other parts of your life.
And then look at it now, how it's showing up in one of the probably the hardest thing. Like I imagine preseason's a piece of piss compared to this last 6 months, right?
Spot on, yeah.
And so you look at it and it's like, oh well, I'm actually, these conversations are similar conversations that I've had. That's like people talk about doing hard things and why that's so great for you. Yeah. But then you look at that in that really hard situation, well, fuck, I can get through this and I can do that. And that self-talk, I think, is so important.
It's so important.
100%.
Yeah. It's and like that battle I assume with you was like you finally just gone 100% in on the potty, and it's like sick. This is like, and you're seeing it grow and build. Yeah. And you're having a baby. It's like I know you as a person, so I know you want to be 100% as a dad. Like you want to be present. You want to be there, and it's like, is this going to take away from it? But don't let it break you, bro. You can do both.
100%. Yeah. 100%. And so what did it look like? Because you said you you were going 100, but like you were still training hard as you were saying, like Mill's super proud of you throughout that time. How did the Souths contract come up?
Yeah, so there was a few conversations I'd had with a few clubs, and people play silly buggers, and people had sort of led me on a little bit, and then got to the point where I think they must have got wind that there wasn't another contract there waiting, so they want to drag it on as long as they can because they want to get you as cheap as they can. And I'd spoken to Wayne earlier on in the season. Before I actually got injured, I'd called him and said, with our situation, I'm going to be moving back down to Sydney, and I've had a look at all the clubs down there, and I just want to be coached by you. I'm not really worried about money. Like I want it, and he I think he loved it. I had a few good chats to him, but they just didn't have the spot in the cap. Yeah. And then it was only 2 days before Christmas break that Davey Moali was released to go to the Storm. Yeah, okay. And I was pretty close to signing a deal with another club. And my manager got in touch with Wayne, and they were like, "No, I think we can make this happen before they start back after Christmas." And it just happened so quickly. And like, even when I was talking to the other club, I had a bit of a feeling in my gut that it just didn't feel quite right to me. Yeah, interesting. So like, instead of just jumping at it and getting it done straight away, we sort of did hold off that little bit, which is obviously another risky period because it's like I haven't had a deal here for months. I haven't been paid for 3 months. Fuck. But still just sat on it, just in the hope that a spot would open up. Yeah. One, to be coached by him, but two, like South is just such a huge, big, rich club. Rich in history is what I mean, and rich in people that they have there, and then the boys that I've played with that are there as well. Good
little crew, hey?
Yeah, and like being a blackfella as well, it's like a club that I think every young Indigenous lad in the NRL would love to play for South. 100%. Yeah, so it was a no-brainer, and like since I've walked through the doors, I've been so stoked. That's the decision I've come, and it's sort of fallen to the, like I just feel as though going through what I went through, like I'm just so grateful that like I've had big contracts. I've had years in advance, and I have taken it for granted. As much as I thought I was in the moment, like only now I can look back and say I took it for granted, because right now I'm just so grateful. Like we're at Magic Round on the weekend. We fly up there. You're with the boys at the hotel. Yeah. I've got to go watch my wife play footy.
That's so awesome.
My daughter's in camp with the Blues. Like everything that's going on right now that footy's given us, the NRL's given me and Mill and our family, like we're both just so grateful for it.
Yeah. Because I imagine it probably get to the time, because we see it with a lot of our mates who probably get a little bit older and they don't have a nice finish to their career. Yeah. And there's that little bit of bitterness where it's just like, oh, well, fuck, I should be playing longer. I should have been doing that. But it seems like I love the way you're looking at it, where it's just like, no, I'm so grateful.
Well, like, yeah, you're right. Like, did you have the nicest finish? Like, you might have had to take a pay cut, or you might have been an Origin player that didn't play Origin your last few years. Like, whatever it is, but like, you're still playing, man. Like, you know, and it's only when you don't have that, when it gets taken away from you. Yeah, What's the song?
I thought you were going to start singing for us.
What is it? Oh, I've got to think of it. They paved paradise and put up a parking lot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone?
Yeah,
that's
dude.
It, bro.
I like
so
that. I like that.
Yeah, that's always playing in the back of the head as well, man.
Man, I used to hear Cam Smith would do that in the back end of his career, where like the last maybe season or a couple of seasons, he would like really sit in the change room and really appreciate the time being in their sheds, because like you don't know how much longer you've got.
He probably started doing that when he'd played 280 games or something. Yeah, as well. Played another no, but you know what I mean. Like maybe that's why he played for so long. Like, and I'm sitting here saying like I'm grateful to be in it, and it's not like I'm saying this is going to be my last year. Like I want to play for another 4 years
for sure.
But I'm just going to be grateful every year that I do play.
Man, does that gratitude? Have you always had that like awareness of gratitude?
Oh, I think a little bit. Like I think having a brother that's got autism. Yeah. And like knowing that I'm just so lucky that I don't, and that I've been able to do what I love doing, has always brought that in for me a little bit. Yeah. So I feel as though I've always had that little bit of empathy and a lot of gratitude there. But like I said, like I moved away from home as well, and like as much as I hate to admit it, like my brother was a bit out of sight, out of mind. Yeah. And like if I had James at the forefront of my mind, as much as I did when I was living at home in Tathra with him, all the poor decisions I've made, I wouldn't have made, because like when I'm thinking like that and I'm putting him and my family first, like I don't make those bad decisions. So
man, I hope you don't mind. You put up a post a little while ago around gratitude. Yeah, I'd like to read it because it was actually really beautifully written. It was around your dad. I think it was around the year. You said, I've been thinking about dad so much today and didn't realize. Sorry, I'll say that again. We can edit that part out. Yeah. I've been thinking about Dad so much today and didn't realize, but as a kid, he taught me about gratitude all the time. The small things used to make his day. It's like seeing someone catch a sick wave, catching a good fish, finding a special shell, or getting a new gammon joke to tell. When he was going through chemo, he had a real tough time, and we used to head to Merriweather to get our feet in the sand and find shells and watch people surf, and everything he was going through went away for a minute. Took us back to Tathra together with no worries. Shattered he's gone, but grateful he was my old man.
Yeah. He was so old school, man, and so tough, my dad, but like something that he definitely ingrained in me. Which like you don't show this when you're at the footy club. Like you don't show it when you're playing and that sort of stuff. But like that gentle, loving side of me, like he never whinged about anything. You know, he never spoke softly. But geez, I just felt so loved all the time. Like, and he made so many mistakes, my old man. Like I'm not here to bag him. But like, you know. He had a few things that he, you know, should have done differently, could have done differently. But the one thing I just always felt was just so loved from him, and like, yeah, those are the lessons that I just, you know, hold on to forever and just will never forget because of how it made me feel, man. And like, it's only spoke about being off contract, but the lessons and the learnings of being with him while he was going through chemo, you know, and how scared he must have been, but like. Never showed me once that he was scared. And there's like a few times that we, you know, he was living with us, right? So I hadn't lived with my family since I was 16. I moved to Sydney when I was 16 to chase my dream, chase footy. It was the first time Dad had lived with me and Milligan, and you get on each other's nerves at times, but like we had so much fun, and there'd be times where I'd see him so sick. I'd come home from training and I'd see him sitting on the lounge, and he was just so tired and ill at the time, I'd think. And Mill wasn't home, I'd go, fuck, I'm going to have to walk around the front of the lounge here and see if he's alive, you know? And like, I'd fucking scare him because he'd wake up and he'd be like, what are you doing, you know? And we'd piss ourselves laughing because he knew I was checking if he was dead, man. Like finding fucking humour in that is mental, you know? And there's a few times, I don't want to get too soppy, but a couple of times, particularly at the back end through his second round of chemo when he lived with us, and I went and I was like, Dad, I'm so sad. Like, I haven't shown you this, but I didn't cry much because I didn't want, like, he was being so brave and he was making the most of us living together. Like, he couldn't even talk for a period there. He just had a board that he would write on, and that's how he would communicate. But he was still not, like, he'd never cry and stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to be the one that brings the mood down here. But there was a few times, and I walked into his bedroom and I was like, man, I just miss you, Dad. Like, I'm going to miss you so much. I'm sad about it. I already miss you because like he was kind of gone while he was here, and he could barely speak, and he'd say, he said to me, mate, don't fucking worry. He goes, I'm the luckiest man that's ever lived. Like, he had this fucking voice. He couldn't even talk. He goes, you know, I love your mum. Look what me and Mum have done. You know, two boys that we love, and they love each other. Your brother, like, look at James. He couldn't speak. Like, my brother was quite severely autistic. He goes, look how good he's going. How proud are you of your brother? He goes, I fucking did that. Dude. Like, I've lived the best life. He said, you've given me a daughter. We never had a girl, but now we got Mill. Yeah. Like, and I'm like, fuck, man. Like, that is gratitude. You know, that's at his last moments, bro. He's thinking like that.
Bro, it's so cool that you can... Like, you got to have those types of conversations with him. It is cool.
I'm so grateful I did. Like, if he was living back home, I wouldn't have had the chance to. So it's weird, like, you know, he's living with me because he had cancer, but I'm so glad that he was doing that with me at that time,
Dude, I've actually got a voice memo I'd love to play.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Hey, Ads, what are some of your favourite memories that you had with your dad growing up, and how are you going to relive them with our kids?
That's cool.
We love Mill.
Yeah. Just quietly, the voices are still a little bit croaky there from the Origin 2 celebrations.
That's okay, brother. That's okay, brother.
She's still got a bit of huskiness in the Mill. They celebrated well. Yeah. For me, like, my dad was a school teacher, so I was really lucky. Like, he always had weekends. He had holidays. He coached every team. I played cricket and footy growing up. Yeah. That post before, like, we used to go watch the surfers in Tathra. They'd all rip, and he couldn't surf to save himself, but he'd love to go watch. And my whole childhood, especially coming from the country, the only way you can be entertained is play sport. Yeah. And so he was my coach. Some of my funnest and coolest memories, and I've only got them, like, now that I'm a bit older and I look back, are like, me and my dad together, but it's also like seeing my dad with my mates that were like maybe not as confident or whatever, and like bring that you know coaching them through footy or cricket, and like being there when they got their first wicket and that sort of stuff, or being, you know, they scored their first try, and just seeing him like elevate people, and like I want to be such a big part of our kids' sporting life growing up. Like, we're so lucky that in Australia, you know, we're in a beautiful country. It's sunny. You play whatever sport you want. I just want to be a part of that, because I know what it can do for kids, what it can do for your confidence. What, you know, all my friends that I'm close with, they're all mates that I played footy or cricket with. You know, so
it's kind of like being a part of that for Lenny and Gigi, right? Like letting them be a part of like dad who's still playing, still get to be out there. Like, it's cool that they get to be a part of this chapter, because the next chapter might look a little bit different. You know? Yeah,
for sure. It is. Yeah. I want them to be along the ride with us now, but then I want to hero them when it's their time. You know.
What's been one of the biggest learning being a dad?
Like the appreciation of Mill and like our partnership there at times. Like,
it's grown.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, just being able to to bounce off each other and work. Like, you can't take everything on.
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be times where I've got to like handball to her. Yeah. And it's like all right to do it, man. Like, I absolutely love every bit of it, but you also need to be able to like step away a bit and do your own thing. Like, I think that period of when the boys started back at preseason and I didn't have a gig, like, we'd just had Gigi. She was born in September.
Yeah.
So I had a newborn at home, but I knew that I could only be the best dad if I could go get my work done first. Yeah. Put that effort into me, and then I was able to come home and, you know, I could be present completely.
Because dude, that's probably another one of the biggest things that I'm keen to talk about today. Is we've got a little bub on the way, and the biggest thing that I'm nervous about is the ability of trying to balance like training, work, being there for like not only like financially and being a part, but also like for her emotionally. Because I imagine like the drop on hormones that she's going to feel after having a baby, and you know, it's different. Like, it's a first kid, like identity, the whole thing.
Mate,
like,
even like hormones and that aside, like once even that all clears up, they're driving around in the car with a baby screaming in the background.
Dude,
is the most stressful thing that you can experience in that moment. Like,
100%.
It is so hard. So
what do you think's helped you?
You guys? Like we're obviously super busy, and we've got some great family support. Mill's mum's moved in with us, and that helps so much. Like, she wouldn't be able to be playing footy again and doing what she's doing.
Because I mean, Mill's like not like, she's just as busy as you.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's busier than me. Yeah. But like, I used to see a psychologist. I still see him now at the moment, and it's such an important big thing for me. Like, it's helped me navigate everything with my dad. It's helped me stay on board with, you know, alcohol and all that kind of stuff as well. But one of the analogies that he used to use was like your dinner plate, and like if you look at your plate and there's too much on it, what do you get rid of? It's like, you keep your meat, you keep your potatoes, you might get rid of a few carrots, like. Yeah. And so I just looked at my life and was like, right, what do I get the best bang for buck for here?
Yeah, okay.
This is what I'm going to pour everything into. And like, being a dad now is just such a big part of that plate. So I've got to be able to sacrifice a few things. Like, we've always been the type of people, me and Mill, that we just say yes to everything.
Yeah.
But like, you got to say no to some things.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What have you had to say no to?
There's social things that you got to say no to. That I think that sort of comes like with playing footy and stuff as well. Yeah. But like, even just me. I'm studying at uni, but you got to drop. Like, I'd love to be able to be all in, knocking off 10 units a semester, but I've dragged it back to doing 1 unit because I don't want to bite off more than I can chew, and I don't want to create that stress for myself.
Yeah.
Being able to finish training was like a big thing for me with being ADHD. Is like always trying to do more as well.
Yeah.
And like, you know, my biggest fear is probably not reaching my potential. And I still feel as I haven't in the NRL. So it's like, I'm still chasing that. But something that I've realised now is like, more's not always better. And like, being able to leave training at training's huge for me as well. So like, for you, being able to do your potties and then just leave it, you know, being able to know that like, when you're there and you're present and you're all in, I think like that mindfulness and being present such an important thing, because it allows you to, people talk about multitasking. Like, I think it's bullshit. Like, don't multitask. Nail what you're nailing at the time and then let it go and then move on to the next thing.
Do you find you're more like efficient and better
when
you're at training and when you're
Heaps
actually
better.
there, because you're not taking it home. It's like when you're there, this is all the time that I've got allocated.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm gonna do it well.
100%. Yeah. I don't procrastinate as much as what I would have. Like, I feel as though I'm there and I know. And because like having a baby is just like the best thing in the world too.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not like I'm doing that so that I can go home and cook a nice dinner for me. You know what I mean? Like I'm actually going home to spend time with my daughter. So it's an easy one to be like disciplined with and be like, no, I've got to get this done here, because if I do it today, it means I can, when I go home, I'm able just to be all in.
Yeah, I love that. Dude, because I think that ability to be a present parent is like the biggest one. I look at my old boy who he worked like a dog. Like he fucking worked so hard, working class man, like, you know, like lift mechanic, and mum's a teacher, and then but they would always be there at like our training sessions or our games on the weekend, right? And I'm like, that's the stuff that I want to take into me, like being a dad. Like, I just want to be there and I want to be present, but I know how I operate, very similar to you, where it's always like, well, what's next? Like, you know, we're still studying, but we're also trying to build this podcast thing that we just stepped into. We've got a team, so we're looking after them. You want to be there for your partner. You want to be there for your kids. So it's like, how do you balance it all? And I love what you said about like saying no to things.
I think it's kind of like, I've kind of gone a bit of a way to get there, but like processing it a bit now. Thinking about what you just said about how hard your dad worked, how hard my parents both worked, but they were always there as well. And it's like how hard I want to work. Like, don't be a cop out and be like, oh, I couldn't be at your training because I work so hard and I'm doing it for you. Like, make that your non-negotiable. Like being there for your kids.
Just priorities.
And if you're as hard of a worker as you say you are, figure out a way to make it work without missing those things.
Yeah, I think it's just a priority.
Like be ruthless about it.
For sure.
It's a priority thing. You're exactly right. It's like, what can I forgive myself for later on?
Yeah.
Probably missing a couple of meetings, but I can't forgive myself for not being at the athletics carnival.
100%. And that, because it's almost like you can rank them, right? Like for me, even like we've got, I think I was telling you before, like we're running all the major marathons this year, right?
Yeah.
And so, and we put out some like YouTube stuff around it, and we like want to take people along for the journey with it. And then after, like we just did Tokyo, Boston, London in like a couple month period. And to be honest, the training sucked. Like going into it, like it was fucking terrible, because we just found out like Em was pregnant, we're doing home renos, we're doing it was all these things. And so we're doing like a recap of the race, and they're like, oh, how was it all? And I'm like, dude, to be honest, like it didn't go that great, because it just wasn't a priority.
Yeah.
Like my priority is my friends, my family, and specifically higher than anyone is Em and our soon to be baby.
Yeah.
And then it was the podcast, because that's our financial structure and that's how we live.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, training came third.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, and I'm more than happy to say that. And it might shift between other people depending on their values. They're like, no, training, footy, like that's my life. I'm all in on that. But I was like, for me, like that's not the play. I'd much rather put my family in front at the top.
And being okay with it, man.
Being okay
with it.
So,
like, if you can look at it and go, like, that's the person you want to be, bro. Proud to be that person.
Dude, 100%, dude. I think once I heard that, like the priority thing, it's just like, it makes it so much easier to be able to, like when things come into your space, like opportunities pop up, or like you said, social gatherings. Well, actually, I can do that, but I can also be there for like you can just like make the choice. I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, and like say running like not the best time.
Right.
It's actually okay with you
100%.
because you knew it was your third priority.
Yeah.
It's like you're not going to go home and not sleep because you did. It's like, oh, I need to actually accept that.
Yeah.
Because I put those other things first at the time.
Dude, it was so funny. Once Tokyo was the first marathon that we did at the start of the year, and like start of March, and it was the hardest race that I've ever done. Like I've done half Ironmans, I've done ultras, and that one just because of lack of training. And I pulled into like the last kilometer or 2 kilometers, and I'm like just hobbling down there, and I saw Em, and Em's just like half laughing at me, but then half concerned. And afterwards she's like, I've never seen you finish a race like that. I was like, yeah. I was really in the hurt locker there. And she's like, okay, well, when we get home, I need you to prioritize your training a little bit more. Yeah. Just so, because like, I don't want to see
you crawling over the line. Yeah.
And to her credit, like it's been awesome, but that just comes down to the communication part.
It does, man. It's so important. Yeah. And like her knowing that you support her, you're going to get that back tenfold.
Yeah. And imagine like you and Mill would have to do the exact same, because you're both operating on like really busy schedules, right? Like with her.
Do you know the other thing, bro? And it's actually like not being like, being able to pull your partner up without it turning into a fight.
Yeah.
Like I have to tell Mill. Thanks, man. Like she's that busy.
Yeah.
But she's so okay with it that I at times like, because she knows that my intentions are all for the best for us, for our family, and vice versa. Like being able to pull your partner up maybe when they can't see it themselves and be like, oh, you don't need to be worrying about that.
What do you mean? Give me an example.
Her putting her hand up to go fly out to Dubbo to do a promo that might be worth $8,000.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? $8,000 would be amazing.
Yeah.
But we haven't had a weekend together for a month because of Origin.
Yeah.
So brush it. You're not doing that.
Yeah.
You know, being able to pull each other up on those sorts of things.
And I'm sure she's probably doing the same to you.
100%.
Yeah.
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 And without it turning into a fight, like you got to be open about that stuff. Yeah.
I imagine that's probably like a big one that a lot of couples would have like conflict and confrontation with, right? Where it's just
for
like,
sure.
especially when you're so like in the bubble of like, well, I'm trying to do this to support us, where it's just like, okay, but it's like a priority thing. It's like, I reckon that would be one of the biggest struggles that people would go through.
Oh,
right?
for sure. Yeah. You got to be clear on it.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, this has been so awesome.
Yeah, it has been, bro. It's
How
been
you
good to have a
feeling?
chat. Yeah, good, man. It's good. It's good to get a little bit of that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel good?
Good. Yeah, I love talking about my dad, bro. Like
Man.
it's, you don't. I don't do it all the time, but say I catch up with a friend I haven't seen for a while, and they'll ask me. They all love my old man, so they'll ask about him. I caught up with a friend earlier for breakfast, and got to have a quick chat about him as well. Like I'll have the best day ever now because I got to speak about him, so it's cool. Like as sad as I get, it's just so cool being able to relive some of those things.
It's also a beautiful way to keep like their name and their like story alive, right?
Yeah, for
Like,
sure. Bro.
like you said, like he's with you always. Like
That's
whether
right.
journaling and stuff like that. I think that's really awesome.
Yeah.
And I think it's really awesome that you're like open to have this type of conversation, dude. Because I imagine there's probably a lot of guys who would, like me, like growing up, I would never have had these types of conversations openly.
No way.
But now having been through that whole process, like losing friends, losing family members, then getting out, it's like, well, for me, having these types of conversations, actually, it gets that little weight off my back. I actually do feel
everyone
better.
does them too, man. Like
Right.
you just, everyone does them. It's not until you see someone
Yeah,
on a podcast or something and they might be a little bit vulnerable and you go, oh,
for sure.
he's like that too. It's all right to be like that.
It's also it's actually like hard guys, like tough, like
That's
tough
right, bro.
guys,
Like,
dude.
yeah,
Like,
you got to look after yourself.
100%, dude.
Mm.
Mate, what are you excited about coming up? What are you looking
Oh,
forward to?
I'm just so pumped that I'm back playing. Like the injury's been such a big weight on my shoulder as well.
Yeah.
Like feeling like I just got through the door and like you do feel a bit of an obligement to the team, and I felt a bit like I was letting everyone down by not being available. So just loving being back out there and ripping into the craft of it all.
Yeah.
Our little girl's growing. She'll be walking like in the next few months. So like, that's all happening. And my little fella's about to come down and hopefully get to his first Rabbitohs game too.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah, which is sick. And my brother James, so he sends in like pump up videos after we win, and he sent one in after we beat Cronulla.
Yeah.
And he was going off.
Yeah.
And like, you know, his photographic memory. So he's like, everyone that scored, everyone, you know, how many goals with kick, like, and Latrell Seagwalt's debut, Campbell Graham's 150th game, like he's throwing it all in there, and he's just so much passion.
Yeah.
And Wayne got a hold of it and put it in the video session that we did last Tuesday before we flew to Brizzy. And then by the time I got back to my locker at training, there was a jersey with Elliott on the back for me to give to him, and I've told him about it. So I'm just so pumped for him to come along on the ride with me as well and just become a part of the team.
Dude, that's so. He'll be frothing.
Oh, he's frothing, bro.
He's a mad
sick.
footy fan.
Yeah, he just loves it. Everyone I played for, like it's so cool, you know. Like he was the most passionate Newcastle Knights fan in the world, but he's brushed them straight away. He's a Rabbitohs man now. So it's cool, bro.
Well, dude, thanks so much for today. I really appreciate you coming on, dude.
Appreciate it, brother.
It's really nice to catch up, and dude, I'm pumped for this like next little chapter you're in, bro.
Appreciate it, bro. Same for you.
Thanks, bro.